Before I start, yes, I'm a 7th generation fisherman. I was here since the session started. Wonderful presentation by Dr. Joyce, helping the coastal community, giving us more fish, giving us reason for catching fish. At the same time, we had a different presentation from the Fisheries Survey of India, where a deep sea fishing was shown, where modern innovation or a deeper fishing vessels can go and fish. And at the same time, now had a presentation on plastic and leather skin. So I think we had all versatile kind of information to take it home from the ocean, which is vast. And what a wonderful way to understand, ocean is not only about the fish, but it's so much more around it, be it for the community, be it for the processors, be it for the climate, be it for a conservation. I think what I'm going to take from today's session is how to balance it all. And that is the reason I'm today slightly different from my background. I'm as a technical consultant for fish meal and fish oil industry. It's a new industry, but a very old industry, to be honest, which is slowly growing. And we hear strengths of it, weakness of it, goods of it, bads of it. And as a challenge, I have become a technical consultant for them. And today I'm representing IFAFEA, which is an Indian fish meal organization of fisheries exports for fish meal and fish oil. Just to start with, we all have heard fishermen stories, how the fishing was before, without the engines, without the hydraulics, how all fishing activity was to be on the coast, be it for the self-consumption, as Dr. Joyce proudly said, most of the artisanal fishermen, over 20 million of fishermen, previously used to catch fish only to human consumption. We used to dry it, we used to barter it, and slowly when India became modern, the processing industry started. That's when the trawlers came in. The same fishermen who were daredevil, I'll say, or who were more opportunities, converted their smaller boats to a bigger boats. And that's the story of an entire coast from the East Coast and West Coast, Now today, we blame in other industry, a smaller fisherman blames a larger fisherman, but we all forget that, we all come from the same ancestral, same community, indigenous community, which has taken this industry forward. Similarly, for the fish meal industry on both the coast of India, it all started from a small place called Udupi. It might have started in Goa as well, it might have started in the Maharashtra at the same time. But this industry has slowly started recognizing it, because what we are producing is not only for the Indian aquaculture industry, but also has importance for the foreign industry, where there is a huge demand for the European farms who might be growing salmons. There are a lot of other fish aqua farms in the South Asia, which might be growing other species, and at the same time, a local species also which are grown in our country. Today, this industry has grown so significantly for last 5 years. When we are talking about industry was worth 500 crores, it has now touched 5,000 crores. And in the next 5 years, it might be a $2 billion industry from India. But at the same time, we need to understand how to balance it out, where the market is going, how to drive this industry, where are we going to source new raw material from. As again, I want to point it out, our regional director, I think it was zonal director of FSI, showing what can be done in the deeper oceans, beyond 200 meters, where a normal fisherman or active fisherman has not reached those waters yet. I mean, what they have done with the bigger boats, with the bigger engines, and newer trawling methods, is there a possibility to bring such raw materials which can be used in the fish meal or fish oil? At the later part of the slide, we're going to see what efforts have been taken by IFAFEA to capture these fisheries. But at the same time, we are in a very global competitive position. Right now, we were not the recognized player in the world for fish meal and fish oil. Chile, Peru, or other European countries were the major players, where more sustainable fisheries were part of this industry. But today, with Indian fishermen going into newer waters, changing their fishing gears, catching newer species, we have a competitive advantage for such industry. So what is driving the fish meal and fish oil industry? When we talk about fish meal, most of us, we only think about, the fish which is not fit for a human consumption, but that's not the fact. Most of the fish meal and fish oil comes for the pelagic fishes, small pelagic fishes, lot of sardines, lot of mackerels, lot of other carandigs, fishes, which are abundantly available on both the coast of India. Some parts of the coast are good in those fishing, like person fishing. Some parts of the coast are good in surface trawling, and that is what the activity drives this industry. But at the same time, now in this forum, we need to understand why fish meal industry is going, where the newer demand is coming from, what are the products which are being grown into it, and can India represent those newer products which are being globally in demand or in demand for the local as well. We all are sitting here, everybody is a gym conscious, everybody has a pet at home, and that drives this industry. It's not only about, fish which comes from a fishing grounds, goes for a fish meal or goes for a shrimp industry or goes for a sawmill. It's not the reality. It is going for few of the pet food industry, not only India, globally. There has been a new pallet and products created for pet products, and some of the companies from these organizations are also trying for a patent to do it. You all must have seen a lot of us, who have deficiency of vitamins or omega, we consume the capsules. So those are the products which are created from fish oils. At the same time, this industry was fragmented. Previously there were a lot of issues. I don't want to go into details of that. But right now, as the processing industry grows, the fish meal industry also grows along with it. There are newer mechanisms, there are newer standards, there are new treatment plants coming up, and this industry is shining with the processing industry as well. When we talk about growing from 500 crores to 5,000 crores and going up to 20,000 crores in the next 5 years, with the vision of doubling our exports, or not even doubling. I was in Visakhapatnam when there were promises of taking our trade from $8 billion to a $30 billion. That's a 3 times jump. So it's okay to hear this and we get excited, but we need to understand where this all raw material is going to come from, where the value addition is come from, where our numbers are going to go. We have a lot of species. 3.5 million ton is the fish caught annually. I'm talking about the marine side only. And the value creation domestically and exports is over $18 billion. The fish we eat, fish we go for fish meal or fish oil, fish which get exported, the shrimps which get exported, we all are interconnected. And right now, since the morning, Odaku, my friend is here, Xavier, he is trying to create a value of a traceability. Can we get that 20 rupees a dollar for a tuna, which gets sold at a $2 in Kerala? Can we create a small pelagic value, a sardine which goes for a $1, we can go for a $2. Similarly, for a cephalopods, a lot of European buyers are here, a lot of exporters are here who are going to face a challenge in next 6 months' time, when a catch certificate is going to be a norm. Forget about certification, forget about FIP, it's going to be a norm. So, traceability, data points, digital systems are going to be a key to just survive in the market. Forget about increasing the value of the market. Whatever market we have in the Europe of $1 billion of cephalopod, to create those. And similarly for being a global player for a fish meal and fish oil industry, compete with Peru, compete with Argentina, Ecuador, or most of the northern sea fisheries, Norwegian, we need those systems as well. Be it for the catching fish for a EU export or be it for a fish meal and fish oil. And that is how few of the organizations have come up and they have formed and they have made an example in Karnataka, where they call it Karnataka State FIP, where last 5 years they have been trying to sustainabilize the fisheries. And at the same time, our Daud friend is there. He's also trying in multiple states to create such FIPs and create a value around it. These are just a few FIPs. Just to mention it, that India is not the only one which is trying for FIPs. There are a lot of Asian countries, there are a lot of South American countries, there are a lot of European countries who have done MSC, not only for fish meal and fish oil, but MSC for small pelagic for eating fish. Like a lot of European countries consume sardines in can, a lot of European countries consume mackerels in can. I think now when we have so much of resources, I'm planning to exploit more resources from deep sea. We have a wonderful reef core-up systems created for a human consumption and domestic consumption as well. So I think it's a win-win combination for entire industry where we will see our numbers doubling as well. Coming back, as we grow, the challenges rises. And these are all the challenges which usually been talked about on the global forums, on the larger platforms. We are just new to it. As my friend was saying, if you go to a fisherman and talk about catch certificate, sustainability, traceability, it's a very new thing for them. I am a 7th generation fisherman. If you go and ask to my father, you're going to have to sign your catch certificate, you're going to have to tell where the fish is coming from. They'll be very hesitant to it. But again, I would like to say, someone mentioned that why the newer generation is not coming up for fishing. The answer is simple. Where is the fish? And how is the fish coming? How is the fish going to come? Is the climate supporting the fishermen? Are the rising fuel prices supporting the fishermen? Are the new norms supporting the fishermen? At a policy level, at the guidelines level, whatever happens, in the end, the whole burden, impact comes on the fisherman. He is the one who is all to suffer for all the industry, the entire supply chain or entire value chain. So these are few, I don't want to name all of them, but you all know what are the regulatory, what are the climate issues we are facing. There was a 30 days delays in a monsoon. So we just have to predict what's going to happen next. Is there going to be enough fish for all of us? Is there going to be a critical climate impact for all of us? We all have to prepare for it. So just highlighting this so that all the stakeholders are there. When we're designing the policies or challenging ourselves from going a $2 billion industry from marine to a $8 billion industry to a $30 billion industry. These are the few challenges what we'll have to consider as well. Coming to a progressive side of the industry, piloted by FSI, I've seen earlier, piloted by a few of my friends in CMFRI, but this is done on a smaller boat. And these are the challenges. And this is why I have also partnered with them, because on the West Coast, there are so many lot of brave fishermen, so many unions who are excited to try new things. And that is the reason we need support from FSI, we need support from CMFRI, we need support from schemes like PMMSY, to newer schemes. The schemes have to be designed for what lies not 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, but what 50 years ahead. Can India's fishermen, can my next generation come and start fishing in India? Can he have a facility? Can he have innovative boats? So this is a prime example for that yes, it is possible to catch mesopelagic fish. Yes, it is possible to go and compete for tuna if we have a technology like Odaku. So these are all few systems where we need to have a collaborative. This is the first time we are here presenting our industry. I guarantee you, next time we are here, we will be presenting a scenario of 10 to 15 boats going into deeper waters, catching this not in 10 tons and 50 tons, but hundreds and thousands of tons, and supporting this industry as well. So that is the challenge what we have come up with. As earlier I was talking about how to go about, from $8 billion export industry of marine seafood to 30 billion. This is what exclusively is. We have to build more global partnership. Like we had last 2 days going on buyer and seller meet, we have to find more partners. At the same time, invest more in technology, create more value addition, not only have the products which are being sold as a whole. A lot of industry experts are there who are creating newer products for the international markets. And at the same time, think about what anybody else has done. Let's say for a tuna, there is a big factory of chicken of the sea. What they have done, how they have achieved. We have more than 8,000 kilometers of a coastline. We have 2 island territories, Andamans and Lakshadweep, and still not able to tap those resources. Why we don't have super factory? Why can't India have a 1 lakh ton factory and proudly be a global player in a seafood? If you want to, we can have an industry player like Adani and Ambani in other commodities. Why can't we have a similar name from India having a global name in the seafood industry? That's what is called about super factories, I might be sure in next 10 years, somebody from you might be a super factory owner as well. And once again, being a technical consultant partner, and they were the platinum sponsor for event, which is ongoing. If you want to go and meet them and see the wonderful opportunities, they are at a stall number F1, and these are the partners who have been supporting the organization. Thank you very much.